Have a beautiful Charlotte here from Perfect Shade Cosmetics. Today I'm going to be doing a cool version of yesterday's warm no makeup look. A lot of you ladies have been requesting what color suits you. So today I thought I would just give you more information on undertones because it is your undertones that determines what colors suit you. So ladies, I want you all to look at the veins on your wrist. And if you look at my wrist, you will see that the purple and the blue veins jumps out, which just means that I am cool undertone dominated. However, if you look further down, you will see that there are some green veins as well. So that just means that I'm also a warm undertone, which means that I'm a neutral undertone. So basically what this means is that the pinky color suits me as well as the warm shades, but I am more on the cool undertone side. So basically all of the pinks, the purples, the silvers, the blues will suit me more than the red. And when I do wear a red, it must not be an orangey red. It needs to be a blue red because I'm more of the cool dominant. So I hope this gives you some insight as to what kind of shades would suit you if you look at your veins, and if you need to know more about our products and which are the cool shades and which are the warm shades. So if you need to know more about our products and which are the cool shades and which are the warm shades, then I will gladly help you on WhatsApp. Okay, so today I've already prepared my face. I've done the corrector, I've done the beige 2 foundation, and next I'm going to be using my illuminator, which is the Cool Illuminator, which is the Sunbeam. Now ladies, a lot of you have been WhatsApping me for a list of the products that I used for yesterday's no makeup look. Now please understand that some of the products are stock that I've used previously. It was previously stock products in the Focallure range. And currently we have alternatives. Now with the illuminator, we have the cool and the warm contour sticks, which I did show you yesterday. So we have the gold, and then we also have a silver as well. So that would be your alternative for using to get the illuminated look on the cheeks as well as the forehead, the nose, and whichever area that I am going to be highlighting. So next I'm going to be applying the illuminator on my forehead as I did yesterday, and only working in one area at a time because it does tend to dry quickly. But with the contour stick, it's a thick cream contour stick, so you don't have to. You can do each area and you can blend it accordingly. You don't have to focus on one area at a time if you are using the contour and the highlighting sticks. Okay, so I'm using my blender and just blending this out. So today's look is the cool, which is more on the pinky side. And you guys can decide if I'm more of the cool undertone, which is what my veins state. So that's just a general guideline to see what undertone you are. If you'd like to know what are the cool shades and the warm shades, then I'd suggest that you download the color wheel, which has the red, the blue, and the yellow as your primary colors. It will clearly show you which are your cool colors and which are your warm colors. If you don't know what your cool colors are, your color wheel will be the best guide to guiding you as to what colors are which. Next on the cheeks. So I'm going to go a little bit more on the cheeks, because I generally do like the cool colors a lot more than the warmer shades. So even before I knew anything about undertones and before I did my course and got a lot more insight into this, you generally do know which colors suits you. And the best way to determine if a color suits you or not is if you put something on your lips or on your eyes and your marks and your or everything that you're trying to hide jumps out and becomes more prominent, then you know that that color is not for you and you are not according to that undertone. So that's the best way. You will also take on a sick, pale, pasty look when you're using the wrong color on your lips. Like I've explained in my previous videos, the color on your lips needs to be dead on according to your undertone. So please remember that, ladies, when you're choosing lip shade colors. Also remember that our lipsticks are still less 50% till Thursday, and thereafter the prices are going to go up, as well as our foundation and powder combo. So just bear that in mind if you are going to be placing your orders this week or after this week, because it will be going up to the normal prices, which is double the amount. Looking lovely and glowy. Also, to speed up the process, I have done a little bit of contouring on my nose, just to speed up the process, but I am going to go over it with Cool Colors for the highlighter and the contour. Next, I'm going to be using my setting powder, which is my shimmer powder. Now, the cool version of this, which I don't have with me in my dressing room, because when lockdown started, I just could grab a few products. So the cool shade that I would suggest to set your powder on these, to set the illuminator on these areas would be the number 10. That's our lightest color, but also a pale, more on the whitish side, more on the cool side powder. And that's a powder I use normally on my cheekbones if I'm using Cool Colors and I really want my cheekbones to pop. Okay, so today I'm going to be using the number 8, but as explained, if you are using the Cool Colors and you want to set your illuminated areas with a cool setting powder, that would be your number 10. Just overlapping on the lid as well and underneath, and I am going to go underneath as well with my normal setting powder, which is number 9. So the number 8 is just for the highlighted areas. That's what happens when you apply too much of powder, which is good in a way to show you that less really is more when it comes to your setting powder, because it is a micropulp formula. And I have explained this previously, where if you are applying too much of powder, it is going to look too much. My normal setting powder, I'm going to seal the rest of my face, which is around my mouth, neck, any other area that is not sealed with the number 8 powder. I've also already sealed my breakouts here. As explained, if you want to know how to cover your pimples or any other breakouts that you may have, then refer to the video that I did yesterday with the warm no makeup look. Okay, so I'm going to use my powder puff and apply extra powder underneath the eyes. Just applying a little bit more where there's more movement and where it tends to move into the lines. Really close up against the lashes because I don't want the foundation to settle into lines here. And my next step, I'm going to just contour for it here on the sides. Again, this is done with any contouring product. If you need to know more about that, refer to my video on contouring and highlighting and the different products you can use. Okay, so I'm just making my forehead a little bit smaller, giving a light contour underneath the cheekbones. Next, I'm going to do my brows and do the brush strokes that I did yesterday, just to make it look like I have a lot more brows than I actually do. So first I'm going to do my lines, and then I'm going to do the brush strokes. My favorite brow brush. Also using the number 2 brow tattoo. So just going to do my lines first. A little bit thicker than normal because this needs to look natural. Not too thick, because when you do the strokes, the hair strokes, it goes above this line here and it does make it look a little bit thicker. So not too much. Flicking upwards, not doing the normal rectangle that I do. So just flicking up so it fades. Make sure it's nice and even before you start with your strokes, because if there's any unevenness, you actually can't go back and make it more even. So just make sure your basic shading on your brows are even before you start doing the hair strands and the strokes. So if there's any blotchiness, fix it now before you start with the next part of it. Okay, next I'm going to do the strokes using a thin brush. So I'm going to do a few strands here in the corner. So this is like the Brooke Shields brows that everybody went crazy for in the 80s, and I think 90s as well. So that's the kind of look you like, and it still appeals to you, then so be it. It seems to be coming back because it's currently trending. So if you like this, then this is how you get the natural brow look using the brow tattoo. So very versatile. I love my brow tattoo. I don't think I can do without it again, because I not only use it for brows, but I also use it to line the eyes, to line the eyes top and bottom. Okay, looking natural. To start from like halfway, so that when you do your strands, majority of the product is in the center of your brows, and you just get the little flicks at the top and not the bulk of your product. See, like that. So I really take my time when I'm doing my brows and these strokes, because they need to look natural. They need to look like they are your natural brows. Not lashes, sorry, brows. Okay, and I seem to think I've got that effect. Okay, so that's the brows with the brow strokes, and I prefer using the brow tattoo in brown because the black is a little bit hard. I prefer keeping the black just for my lining, for my eyes, and if I really am wearing something very out there and really need my brows to be defined, then I would use a touch of the black for as the line underneath. Okay, so now I'm going to start with my eyes. Because I've done everything else, I'm going to start with my eyes and just apply a little bit of illuminator on my lids. You can also just use your foundation if you want, but I'm going to use this because I really want the eyes to pop a little bit more than the warm colors, seeing that I am more on the cool side. Okay, so on the whole lid, and then I'm going to do one eye at a time because the illuminator does dry out. Extending on to the nose very slightly. Underneath the eyes. Now I'm using the Pink Steam Beam highlighter / blush, but we have pigments in 20 colors with all of the colors that I've used from yesterday. So if you wanted to go for the warm look, then I've got the I've got the warm pigments that will give you, that is an equivalent to that as well, and we will give you, so you just need to, when you're asking us for the list of products, you need to just stipulate if you want the colors for the warm no makeup look or you want the cool no makeup look, and we will give you the equivalent. So whatever we give you is equivalents and not products that I'm using right now and we don't have stock of. Okay, so still just applying the illuminator. And I'm going to apply this brush straight onto the lids. I'm still going to use my brown as my natural shading for the contours. If you had to use pink, it's unnatural, so I need it to look like my skin, but just a darker version or darker shaded area. Okay. Then I'm going to do my illuminator on the other side. So I'm doing this in stages. Smoothen it out, because when you're using your pigments, your illuminator will absorb it quite a bit. So make sure it's a really thin layer of whatever base you're using, whether you're using the illuminator, whether you're choosing to use your foundation, or whether you're even choosing to use your highlighting stick as your base. Just use a brush, don't use your finger. The brush blends it out beautifully. Just so that you ladies can see that I am using the beam. I do have over 1,000 pigments with me, but unfortunately it's not the pigments that I stock, so I won't be using that. Okay, so that's beam. And then I'm going to use my number 8 powder as my highlighter on the inner corner. And up by the brows, and then I'm going to use the lighter beam highlighter over it. And the reason I'm doing that is because if you go with the lighter beam over the illuminator, it's quite intense, and that's not really natural. So that's the reason why I'm going with the number 8 powder first and then the beam over, so that it looks quite natural. Okay, this is the shading that I was talking about. So just a matte brown, any matte brown. If you've got any of our smoky palettes, you can use the browns that is in the smoky palette. Once I'm done with the shading and the contours here, then I'm going to go underneath my brows with the beam highlighter, the lighter one, not the pink. This is what I've used on the lid, and this is what I'm going to be using on the inner corner and underneath the brows. Shading underneath the eyes as well, natural. Applying the beam over that, underneath the eyes. And then the lighter beam. Next, I'm going to do the mattifying powder on the lashes and then start with my 4 layers of mascara. And today I'm going to use mattifying powder on both sides, because yesterday I did show you what it looks like, and it definitely looks better with it. in between the layers as well. So start off with your powder, top and bottom. Until you can see every strand with the naked eye, which I can. Close up, I can. Make sure you get the ones on the inner corners as well. Get product on there. And then just brush away anything that fell. And start with the layering of the mascara, and you're going to work quickly, 20 to 30 seconds in between the layers so that it doesn't dry too much and then it gets clumpy when you start to layer with mascara on very dry lashes. I'm going to do the top lashes first so that I can alternate from one side to the other. It's just quicker. I must be honest, even though I cleaned my face and washed everything off afterwards and cleaned around it with wet wipes, the mascara stayed on till I removed the excess now, just before this video. So it's definitely a technique that lasts and really intensifies the effect that you want on your lashes. So your mattifying powder is each day as I'm researching, I'm just finding more and more uses for it. So it's not just a priming powder and, keeping your skin matte and keeping your makeup lasting longer. But I'm finding that people are actually also using it on the lips as well, prior to putting on any kind of lip color. And it's really keeping on the lipstick, whether it's a moist, whether it's a matte, for the entire day. So definitely an excellent product to have, a must-have product to have if you battle with keeping your products on, whether it's your foundation, whether it's your lipstick or anything. The mattifying powder has a lot more uses, which I am slowly discovering each and every day, which I will share with you ladies as I'm finding out more and more, because every day I'm experimenting with makeup. I have tons in my dressing room and lots of time, so all to your benefit. Okay, so that was the second layer. I did just touch up in between before I applied the second layer of mattifying powder. That was not the second layer, it was just a touch up to separate lashes. Okay, and now this is the third layer of mattifying powder. I want more on the outside and the inner corner. The center has enough of volume, so I'm not going to apply too much on the center. I also don't want, it's quite long, so I don't want it to stick together. Definitely giving me the effect that I want. That's the effect I wanted. I really wanted those outer lashes to stand out like spider's legs. Okay, now you see it, and now you don't see it, sorry, and now you do. So any lash that's not visible to the naked eye just jumps out when you put on powder and then mascara. Last layer at the top, and then I'm completely done with the top lashes. Okay, next I'm going to do the bottom lashes. Just reinforcing what I've already applied. With the lower lashes, you need to take some extra care because it can mess up the bottom. So try and get as close to the skin as possible, but without touching the skin. Okay, I have messed a little bit, but I will just take that away with some highlighter once I'm done with all of the layers of mascara and it is completely dried and there's no risk of it smudging. So for the bottom lashes, I'm just going to do 3 layers and going to do the first 2 layers now and finish off with the rest of the face and then come back to it. Okay, next I'm going to do my cheeks. So I'm going to do a subtle pink. This is doll face, but we have lots of equivalents. So it's pink, but I have lots of equivalents and I am going to use a big brush. Keep smiling. Show those apples. Next, I'm going to use this on the cheeks itself. And use the highlighter, which is the lighter one. Brushing away anything that fell and also highlighting my nose. Using the smaller brush just to go lightly over the contoured areas, which I've already done in brown. Just a very light pink over it. Seem to think my mascara has now dried up, so I'm just going to go over it. And that's fine if it smudges a little bit. It gives you a natural lining of the eyes underneath. So mistakes can also work in your favor. Last layer of mascara, and I'm not going to layer this because I've got really faint lashes at the bottom and there's already a lot of product on it and I just don't want to make it look too much. I'm happy with the effect. As long as it looks wispy at the top, I'm good with that. separating some here that I hell-bent on sticking together. Okay, so next I'm going to start off with my lips, and I'm using number 15 moist lipstick. It's a pink, it's a mauvey pink, but when I use it together with my lip matte and then layer, it becomes more neutral. So nothing too heavy. Blot your lips so that it goes over the natural line. You're not doing a hard line. And I'm going to use this to soften the lines around it, which is number 2 lip matte, currently 65 Rand and going up to 130 on Friday. So just softening the lines around your natural lip line. Nothing too harsh. Blot to soften. Take away any excess with your lip brush, because it needs to look like a soft, natural pink. Just applying on the center, and then I'm going to apply the lighter beam highlighter over it. Just going to clean up anywhere I see mascara spots, like here. Just taking that off, and then I'll go over it again with the beam. This side's looking a bit darker, so I'm just going to remove this excess mascara spots from underneath the eyes. Sealing with powder, nothing too bright. Using my number 3 powder. Okay, and then I'm going to go over with my brown matte eyeshadow underneath. Look more natural. And spread it out a bit more so that the brown is not looking too much. The only reason I did this is because the mascara messed up the bottom and I needed to go over it again, so that's what I did. Touch up the mascara without hopefully messing again. So just on the strands where I've removed it, not the entire bottom. Managed to do that without messing this time. So just touching up anywhere I might have dropped product or anything I need to highlight. So my beautifuls, this is the final cool no makeup look. I hope you guys love it, but judging from all the feedback that I got from yesterday's look, I know this is also going to be another winner. So remember ladies, when you are WhatsApping me for the list of products that I've used in today's look, remember I'm going to be giving you the equivalents that we currently have for retail and not the products that I've used in today's video, because it is previous stock that are now testers, but we have amazing equivalents. So just remember that. Also, to let you guys know that we will be officially giving you a statement this week. We are currently working on applying for a permit to trade as retail and also to supply the public with essential goods. So please, we will keep you posted on that. Also, to the ladies that have previously done pre-orders and payments, guys, we will let you know on your orders for delivery or collection, depending on whether the courier services are going to be operational from next week. Okay, so guys, if you want to know more about this look, please subscribe to my channel. A lot of the ladies are WhatsApping me and asking me about information that I have already supplied in my videos. Remember, the videos are not purely for showing my talents as an artist, but also to show you how to use all of the products that we stock at Perfect Shade Cosmetics. So unfortunately, a lot of you don't have the time because some of you are essential workers and some of you don't have a lot of data, but maybe just speed up to the sections where where you're more interested in. So remember that if you want to know about highlighters and brows, it would be more towards the beginning. If you want to know more about lips and lashes, it's going to be from halfway onwards. And we are speeding up the videos so that you get the relevant information that's more important. So guys, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I love you guys a lot. Please continue to subscribe because you will be notified whenever I upload a video. So until the next look, bye.